Hey there! Thanks for joining us. We're out in Eastern Oregon looking for... Wow! What's that in the sky? Huh, where was I? Welcome back to the channel. Karen here for Ozone Fine Art Adventures. We're cruising up into the gorgeous Ochoco National Forest. Ah, there they are again! Okay, I'm definitely a little distracted by these dreamy Ammonites. We're venturing through the Ochocos to a rare spot in Oregon that isn't covered in basalt, so you can access Jurassic period bedrock. We have the fortunate timing to be traveling with the fall changing colors. This otherwise incredible forest is on its most beautiful behavior. Old stands of aspen already gilded in hue are just about ready to go full tilt. There are wonderful little pocket lakes throughout the region, reflecting the sky and attracting all sorts of wildlife. Speaking of wildlife, this is Ochoco in the Ochocos. Ochoco, say hi.
Hey Ochoco, do you love the Ochocos? This is your first time in your namesake forest. Lily likes it too.
And if for some strange reason rockhounding isn't your bag, there are other super fun activities, including maybe bagging your lunch. Of course, all I'm thinking about are rocks. It's okay, it's only a short get on down the road, and we'll be there.
Lake site, and Steve was looking for approximately 3 minutes and found our first Ammonite. We're off to a good start. Thanks, Steve.
This beautiful exposure of rubble is no common pile of rocks. It's actually among a few places in Oregon where you can see back in time around 160 million years. They call it the Bajocian era, Middle Jurassic, and this is the Snowshoe Formation. So this is what we're searching through, and it is book-like material that is fossil bearing. So I'm going to scrapple around in here and see if we can't turn up some Ammonites or whatever these guys want to give up. See any yet? Right, pounding on this rock, and this came off, and this broke here, and there's some positive negative. It's kind of a weird break. Hopefully I'll get a better break next time, but cool. Ammonites are a group of extinct marine mollusks. These mollusks are commonly referred to as ammonites and are more closely related to the living colloids than they are to the shelled nautiloids, such as the living nautilus species. I think we all have it in our minds, though, the enthralling unraveling of the Fibonacci spiral and fractals that this shell represents. I mentioned the positive and negative. You can see on the right the fossil emerging forward from the surface of the host rock. That's the positive. The one on the left that looks like an empty eggshell, that's the negative. It looks like the diminishing of the spiral dives down under the host rock here. I'll prep this to see if I can uncover the center of this ammonite spiral. A surprise here is that there remains some nacre, or mother of pearl, from the shell that is well preserved. You can see the pearlescent rainbows that it's casting. This specimen is about 60 millimeters, or 2.5 inches large. The outward spiral of this ammonite seems to indicate that it was much larger, a sad break indeed. Okay kids, here's ammonite number 2. I have lost the negative. It fell apart in this crazy piece right here, and here's my
pick for scale. So we're in small business, but business nonetheless. And that's a pretty cool guy right there. Woohoo!
It turns out the Ammonites from eastern Oregon are assigned to 12 families in 42 genre and subgenre. That's a lot of different kinds. Identification is going to be a challenge, so if you're out there watching and can help ID any of these, feel free to leave it in the comments.
Here, I don't know what I'm looking at, but doesn't that look like that texture? Looks like it could be the remains of something. Here's my pick for size reference. But that's trippy. You know, it's too big for me to take home, not knowing what it is, but maybe plant or something. So there's undulations there, if you can see. I'm afraid that this guy is big and there's no way to save it. Like, that's an undulation, that's an undulation, and that's an undulation. Seems like a big one. All right, and here in the light, you can see the Ammolite from it. So that is, those undulations do belong to a big guy that's stuck in here. Oh, broke. All right, I'll keep this one and we'll see if we can't prep it at home. Woohoo! Look at the Ammolite. It's beautiful. Oh, dogs having a good time.
What a strange cube. You can see why they call them books, even though this one broke in a weird way. You wouldn't imagine a fossil hiding in there, let alone a gemmy one. These ammonites here tend to be casts, as the ammonites filled their hollow chambers with siltstone material as they were integrating into what is now the fossil bed. We're lucky to have this nacre present. In the gem world, this rainbow nacre is called Ammolite and is considered precious as the good quality stuff is very rare.
Okay, you missed the hootin' and the hollerin', but I've got a partial here, and I don't know if that's all that she wrote, but I think I can follow that. Get it out here in the sun. I think you can see that there's a little bit of nacre showing. See if we can't get a little closer. Yeah. So I can try some prep on this. This is going to give me some opportunities to try some cool fossil work at home. So, yeah. Breaking some rocks, breaking some rocks.
Every time you open up one of these rocks, you hope there's some sweet, creamy filling inside. Or in this case, crystally, fossily filling. To follow this fossil, an air scribe or manual one will be the name of the game. Hey you. Yeah, are you picking up rocks? Don't you pick up that rock. I think it's looking for ammonites. Hey, get out of here. Get out of here.
That's neat. It is some kind of a stick. It's too big of a specimen to take home with me. It's a screwdriver for reference. But you can see the crystals and the replacement there shining. Kind of neat.
Amid the ammonites, there are other possible fossils to find here. The stick I found but didn't keep could be any number of things, or nothing. This strange bit coming out of this rock is another mystery. It could be an ammonite coming out in a weird angle, or it could be something else. What do you think it is? If it is one of the several species of ammonites found here, a crazy fact is that they correlate to species found in Europe and Alaska, suggesting a marine connection. Surprisingly, the ammonites here have much more in common with the European ammonites than the Alaskan ones. That's an interesting concept to contemplate. And here's Steve's superstar find. Look at that detail! The whorls, segments, knobs, and other distinctions will help us with the ID on these shells. It's really amazing the ones that we found are so well preserved, for all intents and purposes, for so long. My mind is blown, my heart is enamored, and we can't wait to go back. Meanwhile, there's plenty of research to do, and some great resources that I'll share in the description. Thank you so much for watching. Leave any questions or corrections for me in the comments. If you enjoyed this fossil hunt, subscribe. There's more on the way. For more information, check out ozonefineart.com. Keep creating.